Hello, my name's Richard Levings with American Augers. We're here this morning to talk about the all-new DD600. One of the biggest innovations on the DD600 is the new wrench set, the open top vices. These were guided by the contractors that we worked with, and as you can see, it's easy, it's accessible, you can maintain them easily. The jaw dies are retained with a different retention system that is very simple to change those dies if necessary. You can see them, they're all here and available to you. The vices grip in a triaxial way, which is a standard for American Augers and always has been. It gives you the best clamping force on the tool joints, and the breakout forces are high so that you can always break even those really difficult joints that you might encounter on those more difficult and challenging bores. As standard on all American Augers drills, the wrenches do separate 10 inches and they are full traveling so that you can go anywhere along the drill frame and break out tool joints, or you can run them all the way to the top so that you can drive surface casing. For all of you 440 owners, we have changed the pinion on the wrench drive. We now use a spline shaft and attachment versus the double keyways that always gave us some fit. So greatly improved the integrity and the reliability of the wrench movement system. So on the DD600 wrenches, while you do not have to remove them for transportation, oftentimes you might want to remove them either to take them back to the shop for servicing, or in the event that you want to drive surface casing. The wrenches incorporate a new, very quick, very simple cantilever attachment system for the hydraulics, and there's only one electrical connection. You thread that off, take it off. It takes less than a minute to do both of those operations, and then you're ready to remove the wrenches. The DD600 was developed to be extremely fast and efficient in terms of setup and tear down, to reduce the amount of labor, to reduce the amount of time that it takes to mobilize and demobilize. And so the things that we've incorporated into the DD600, as you can see here at the front, you can see that the drill frame sits into the new front foot, and it's very simple and easy to retain those with these retention slings and 2 pins. Around on this side of the drill, we've incorporated the hydraulic catwalk. The handrails do not come off anymore. They simply fold down, and then with your wireless remote, you simply just fold the catwalk up. All of that takes about 15 minutes for one person to do. The DD600 hydraulic catwalk was designed to provide plenty of space between the outside of the catwalk all the way over to the drill frame, and it's a flat surface, so you're not stepping over or stepping down into another surface. It's a flat surface for working alongside the drill as it's operating. The other thing the catwalk provides is good space for the wireline hand to separate himself from the carriage as it's working, and they just feel more comfortable as the driller is exercising the carriage up and down the drill frame. The new DD600 was designed to meet the new emerging road standards in terms of weight per axle. Some states now are going from 20,000 pounds per axle to 19,000 pounds per axle, which puts a lot of pressure on what you're hauling, and it reduces the amount of weight that you can move on a standard permit. The DD600 with the wrenches on and a quarter of tank of fuel, weighs 94,180 pounds. So it meets and allows you to meet with a standard lowboy those new 19,000 pound axles, but you don't have to remove the wrenches anymore to meet that standard, that weight. The DD600 was designed to be the most versatile Maxi-Rig that's ever come to market. And one way that can happen is because we provide 130 RPM of rotary speed. What does that do for you? We heard loud and clear from contractors, we need more productivity in clay, and with the development of new PDC reamers, we have to have more rotary speed to make them productive and effective. The DD600 allows you to do that, and you can do that in those fast applications, but you also have the ability to run it just as slow as you have on all the other Maxis that you've ever driven. Contractors continually tell us that the #1 cause of downtime on a modern day construction job site is DEF related. On the DD600, we took the approach that we wanted to do everything we could to eliminate those pain points, those things that cause downtime. We were able to utilize a Cat C18 755 horsepower engine, and in the Cat application, they meet stage 5 standards without the utilization of DEF. It has a simple DOC, what I say, a complicated muffler, but they do not use the other after treatment apparatuses that would utilize DEF. So we have no DEF on the DD600. The new DD600, we've taken the approach of giving you lots of space to get in and access to get in and make any service adjustments that might be necessary. The other thing that we have done is the engine air filter is very accessible. You can get right here, pull it out, put your new one in, and it's very simple, does not take long to do. You don't have to disassemble anything. It's very simple and easy. One of the areas where we've applied some new technology that's been developed in recent years is in the hydraulic circuit. You can see that we have incorporated a de-aeration system in the hydraulic tank, and it takes the air out of the fluid as it returns to tank. One of the reasons that you've always needed a larger volume hydraulic tank is so that there was dwell time in the tank to let the air come out of the fluid before it returns to the circuit. This new technology takes that air out immediately, and you don't have to have that dwell time. So we were able to cut our hydraulic volume in half to 100 gallons. The benefits of that is that in the event that you ever rupture a hose and drain the tank, you only have 100 gallons to clean up, 100 gallons to replace, and also, even if you never broke that and ran it out on the ground, when it comes time to service your hydraulic fluid, you have half the cost. So it goes right to your bottom line, the savings that this new technology has allowed us to do, and we've incorporated in the new DD600. A trademark of all American Augers directional drills is that we have manual backup on our valves. We understand that there are times where something may happen, where a processor go down or something go down and you're in the middle of a bore, or you're transporting your equipment and you need backup. All of our hydraulic valves have the ability to manually stroke those valves. You sure wouldn't want to drill with them all day long, but they will allow you to continue to function until the job is complete. Part of the accessibility of the DD600 is visualized here. As you can see, the batteries are right here. They're accessible. You can do any maintenance. You can jump them, you can do anything that you necessarily need to right here without uncovering or taking any covers off. They're just right here. Along with the openness of servicing anything on the engine. You have your engine controller here, your battery disconnect. Everything is right here accessible and lockable. A major theme that we designed into the DD600 is serviceability. As you can see, we've incorporated vertical filters, hydraulic filters, and you can simply take the lid off the top of them, take these caps off the top, lift the filters out. That prevents you from draining everything down onto the floor or into the belly of the DD600. Everything is very serviceable, very accessible, and you're not making near as much mess as the older technology. In the theme of fast setup on the DD600, we only have one control cable to connect, and we only have one fluid hose to connect, two if you're running really high flow. But as you can see, both of those are right here, waist high. You're not crawling up on anything, bending way down. They're both right here. Very comfortable, very easy to connect. The DD600 has a new blowdown valve that relieves pressure on the fluid stream when you're making a connection. The blowdown valve is connected with a hose that goes down through the front foot and out into the pit so that you keep your job site dry, clean, and safe. The DD600 has been designed to incorporate sectioned hoses pretty much on every hydraulic circuit. As you can see, on the main hydraulic hoses going up to the carriage, we use bulkheads, and our customers made a point to ask us on our hose tracks to get them into a single layer. And as you can see, each one of them are segmented. The fluid hoses are in one, the hydraulic hoses are in another section, and the electrical is in a separate section. That allows you to service those hoses in any way, in a very efficient and easy way. And up on the carriage, we use manifolds, and what that does is shorten the length of the hoses so that not if, but when you blow a hose, it's a lot shorter hose to replace. They're accessible, it's easy to remove and replace. There again, reducing the amount of time to repair and get back up and going. The DD600 provides 600,000 pounds of both thrust and pull. We achieve that with 4 radial piston motors, very similar to the ones that we have hundreds of thousands, if not millions of hours of operation time on. Each one of these motors has a brake on it as well, but using 4 motors instead of 2 on the 440, we're able to distribute that load among 4 pinions, which allows us then to move on up in power, but it also keeps the carriage stabilized, so we no longer have that tail wag that the 440 often experience. The other thing that these 4 motors do is they have, when we were doing our research with customers, everybody asked for a working speed. That is, a speed on the carriage that had power and speed. We still have that low end power and speed, and we also have that really high speed, but we've added a 3rd speed in the middle, and that is a variable speed. So in the event that you are pulling 36-inch pipe where you need more power but you still want speed, you're able to adjust to that. The next bore you're pulling 16-inch pipe where you don't need as much power and you can gain more speed, you can simply make that adjustment in your thrust pressures, and the the unit just becomes faster, more productive in whatever situation you're in. It's very, very versatile and flexible in how you can set it up for the job site that you're on. The DD600 rotary system utilizes an American Augers proven gearbox with 4 radial piston variable displacement motors that allow us to provide up to 100,000 foot-pounds of rotary torque, and as we've said before, up to 130 RPMs of maximum rotary speed. We can do that without any gear selections, without any motor manipulations. It's all with the movement of your joystick and setting up the parameters from your screen and operator station. Very simple, they're very easy. The other thing that they do provide is the ability to do patent pending free spin that only American Augers can provide. That allows you to use a DD600 for the exit side or a catch rig and in that application. So once again, adding to that versatility of the new DD600. The DD600 utilizes the standard American Augers fluid swivel design that provides a flange attachment rather than a threaded pipe. And what that does for you is it allows you to remove that swivel way more efficiently and easily to service it and replace it. The DD600 fluid hoses that provide the fluid back to the fluid swivel do not have to be removed for transportation. We meet our height limits without removing those hoses. Therefore, it greatly reduces the time for setup and teardown. The DD600 uses a distributive hydraulic system that brings the power up from the pump through a few hoses, comes into a manifold, and then is distributed to the motors on the carriage. And as you can see, that allows us to very neatly plumb the carriage. It allows us to have short sectioned hoses. So when we're replacing a hose, it's very easy, very simple to access, and short, less expensive to be able to replace. It also allows us, if something goes down, we're able to get up and going much faster, keeping us drilling. The DD600 undercarriage is 16 foot long. What that provides you is a very good degree of steerability as you're tracking it off the trailer and to the job site and on the job site. But also that 16 foot length allows you to load it on a 29 foot low buoy, which is a standard low buoy, and once again, it helps us meet that weight spec that allows us to move it on a standard permit rather than a special permit. The DD600 angle of departure was taken into consideration on those standard low buoys, and we've improved the height and the angle of departure so that it's easier to load on a low buoy as you're moving it. The DD600 comes standard with internal steam tubes in the drill frame, so in Arctic conditions you can run steam through the drill frame to keep everything thawed out, including the wrenches. As we approached the customer-driven design of the DD600, we didn't want to bring out this all-new drill and not work on the customer or the operator interface. So we have designed an all-new operator's cabin. As you can see, this cabin greatly improves the visibility of the job site. It also allows the operators to have full visibility of all the operations along the drill, and it allows a better interface with those laborers out around the drill. As we look at the new American Augers DD600, you can see that it provides a tremendous amount of versatility, of transportability, of serviceability, of efficiency to your operation. And we just want to say thank you for taking the time to explore and see this new unit. To find out more about this new, exciting DD600, contact your local Ditch Witch dealer.